going on, guys? We are here on Z104 The Talk Sports, and today we're going to be looking at Lonzo Ball versus Markelle Fultz, a high-key matchup that we all have circling on our calendars. We're going to be breaking this down for you on your #1 radio leader in NCAA men's basketball. Alright, guys, here we got Washington versus UCLA, but we are looking at the battle between Markelle Fultz and Lonzo Ball, two very, very talented basketball players for their respective teams. These guys are arguably the #1, #2 best player in NCAA men's basketball. They're expected to both be one and done and expected to be drafted at least top 3 in this year's draft. Markelle Fultz came out of high school as a 5-star ranked basketball player, so is Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball playing for Chino's Hills, and Markelle Fultz playing for DeMatha in Maryland. Now, Washington isn't doing as well as UCLA is this year. UCLA more firepower, but Markelle Fultz, he drags Washington to all the wins, as he had a triple-double in the game against Kansas, and here he had a pretty good game against Lonzo Ball. But Lonzo Ball, he's surrounded with way more firepower than Markelle Fultz. If you were a Markelle Fultz, you gotta look at your teammates for a little bit more help. But I mean, he chose a school like Washington. He knew what he was getting himself into. But he does come in. He leads the pace. He knows when it's his time to take over, and he knows when he needs to look for his teammates a little bit more. But recently, he has been getting help from more teammates like Dime. Dime's been helping him a lot. Noah Dickerson's been picking it up. Crisp's been picking it up. So his teammates have been playing better. Most notably Malik Dime. Malik Dime has been doing a great job. He's been putting up monster points, grabbing rebounds, playing absolutely great defense. He's like Markelle Fultz's second go-to man. And yeah, he takes a lot of the load off of Markelle Fultz. Now for Lonzo Ball, we got him at point guard, and we got Bryce Alford on the wing, 3-point sharpshooter. He also has TJ Leaf and Tom Welsh down there on the block. Tom Welsh and TJ Leaf were giving Malik Dime and Noah Dickerson problems. I believe Thomas Welsh went off for about 20 points, and Noah Dickerson had about 20 points. So it was a great battle down there. So we're going to look at the stats right here. We have Lonzo Ball. He went off for 31 points. He went off for 16 in the fourth quarter, so he showed up big right there in the fourth quarter. He had 23 in the second half, and he also finished with 3 assists. Markelle Fultz finished with 30 points, 7 assists, and 3 blocks. Malik Dime actually dropped 24 points, 14 rebounds on 8 of 10 free throw shooting, and 20 points in the second half of basketball. Thomas Welsh finished with 12, 16, and 7 steals. UCLA only had 5 players scoring double figures, which is not bad, but it's better compared to Washington. Washington only had 2 in Markelle Fultz and Malik Dime. UCLA had 20 points off turnovers, and Washington only had 4 points off turnovers, which was also 20 turnovers. So as you see, Washington did not have the best game protecting the ball with 20 turnovers, and they also didn't play defense when they turned the ball over. So this also had a big impact on how they lost this game. They only lost the game by 6, but it came down to the free throw game. And also, you have to take into account the fact that Markelle Fultz fouled out with about 2 minutes left in the game. Lonzo Ball did a great job driving and causing Markelle Fultz to foul him. But, I mean, Markelle Fultz, you can't ask much out of him, man. He has to drag this awful roster around against these talented teams. Like I said, he dropped 30 points and 7 assists and 3 blocks. You can't ask much more out of him playing against the top talent like Lonzo Ball, who dropped 31. And Markelle Fultz, he was notably tired. He played about 40-something minutes in this game, so he was non-stop getting rest. Lonzo Ball also played a lot of minutes. While Lonzo Ball went to the bench, Markelle Fultz was still on the floor, and Markelle Fultz would go to the bench for about 2 minutes, but here comes Lonzo Ball. And while Lonzo Ball was on the court and Markelle Fultz was on the bench, he started to go off. Markelle Fultz did a great job on him for most of the first quarter, and after that, Lonzo Ball started to go off. So like I said, man, we're here on Z104 The Talk Sports. That's all we have. Tune in next time. We're going to look at What Are You Doing? Stay in for that on Z104 The Talk Sports.